Hello, I'm your superhero critic. I'll stay super as long as you stay awesome. Two-Face was created in 1942 as a half-disfigured villain to combat the dynamic duo who was obsessed with doing things around the number 2 and flipping a coin in order to make his decisions. Once a stand-up district attorney, Harvey Dent would come to be known as one of Batman's biggest adversaries and one of the staples of Batman's rogues gallery. So, to end this year's Batmay, I have decided we're going to take a look at the first 2 issues that dealt with Two-Face's debut. Our cover, however, doesn't actually have Two-Face on it, but it does include a faceless goon trying to shoot at Batman while a tied-up Robin whose time is running short as the clock winds down. I personally like this cover because it gives you a straight-up concept of Robin in danger and our hero trying to save him. Now meet Two-Face, whose face is so ugly he can't even have his picture on his debut comic. Our first page shows our villain reading a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde book while trying to hide from the dynamic duo. Have you ever tossed a coin to decide something? Yes, and I lose every single time! Remember how eagerly you watched to see which side won? Heads or tails? Heads I get tails, tails I get head. Either way, I win! Meet the most bizarre criminal of all time, a 20th century Jekyll Hyde, in The Crimes of Two-Face. Because Zero-Face doesn't actually exist yet. We begin our story with Gotham City idolizing the district attorney as Harvey Kent, who is in the middle of a trial, pointing out that Maroni was the one who shot Boogie Benson, while Batman is the witness, and one of Maroni's men is furious about the case and responds by taking a vial of acid and throws it at Harvey. Look out, DA, he's throwing acid! At least he got the acid thrown on him and the fact that he's not on acid. Drugs. Thankfully, however, the doctor says only half of his face has been destroyed as we jump to a month later where Harvey's bandages have finally come off, but it looks like he'll be more than likely needing plastic surgery. But Harvey's last chance is taken away from him once we learn that Dr. Eckhart has been put into a Nazi concentration camp. Nazis! Why is it always Nazis? Harvey is, of course, down in the dumps, and as he heads home, he is mocked by anyone who sees him, so once he's home, he forces his fiancée to look him in the face, scarring her before snapping and destroying her sculpture by damaging half of it. I must be pretty, damn it! Later that night, Harvey is brooding about his new life and begins to blame Maroni for his problems. He then defaces the coin taken from Maroni and begins his first coin flip decision that comes up bad side in his choices of turning to crime. Yes, I suppose I look queer, but I'm not ashamed anymore. Now I flaunt my 2 sides, like a flag. The flag of Two-Face. Hey, there's nothing wrong with being queer, says the bisexual transgender in mid-transition. We then jump in time to another month later where we learn that Two-Face's crime spree has begun, but due to how he operates, some see him as a hero while others see him as the criminal he's become. The coin is then flipped to help decide the next crime of robbing the Brown Bond Company messenger. So later that night, the plan is schemed only for Batman and Robin to spot what's going on. Holy cats! I really hope they're not as holy as the, Cats' buttholes in the Cats film. The dynamic duo jump into action and take out Two-Face's men, only for Two-Face to pull a gun on his old friend and threaten to shoot him. Meanwhile, Robin has his hands full, but during the scuffle, a stray bullet strikes the driver, causing the bus to head into a dead end, with Robin barely being able to stop it before it crashes. That bus has some good-ass brakes. two-decker bus, and now a two-feature movie house. Two-Face crimes, all based on number 2. Ha ha ha. And nobody knows. Nobody. And next, I will demand that Taco Bell bring back that double-decker taco! Our heroes then investigate the dead thug's body and find a map to the theater, which they quickly head to, where the audience is watching a Superman feature, but it's taken hostage as Two-Face throws himself onto the big screen and demands cooperation. And if you don't do what I say, I swear I'll make you sit through a DCEU film. Meanwhile, in the projection room, the boy Wonder quickly takes down Two-Face's goons while shining a light on the descending Batman, who attacks the leftover men, forcing Two-Face to come from behind the big screen. The two continue to brawl until Two-Face hears the police coming, and at least he shot your tires and not the clean side of your face. In his hideout, Two-Face is questioning what he's done before smashing a mirror and snapping on one of his stooges and letting the coin decide his minion's death. The next crime decision of robbing the double-feature movie house. It can't stand on its side! How would I know which pair of handcuffs to give you to arrest me with?